Hi, it is the Human Operating System time. This channel is for education and technology only. So, if you follow my video channels, you will find out that at every week I start a new topic. I do this because I want to make this video channel like a library, and everyone be able to go into the library to check on different topics. So one can check like a year ago on what kind of topic I go through, or when one need to study a particular topic, one can go search different weeks and be able to get the informations. So that's why I want to leave this this video channel for you, so that everybody can have free informations. Okay, that's the notion. And so after I share the important element we should know in order to practice the 1850 Xiu Lim Tao sets, I received many questions and have some discussions with our Wing Chun friends. And many of our Wing Chun friends asked me to elaborate more, describe more, tell more on the three must element when one practice the 1850 Xiu Lim Tao sets. So today I'm going to do that, to tell you, to share with you on these three elements and how is it developed. Okay, so we want to move from the what to what and how. Okay, now before I start this technical details on these three elements, I like to respond to a few ideas from our Wing Chun friends. So in these few days, a few Wing Chun friends told me that my channel is like obsolete what has been taught in Wing Chun for past 6 decades. And some even asked me, they said that if a grandmaster taught 50 sifus, then the grandmaster taught to you, Hendrik, and the grandmaster have to upgrade on what he had been teaching. What would become of the grandmaster and the sifus he taught? Okay, so in other words, if a grandmaster teach for say 40 years and then he have teach many sifus, and then the grandmaster, because watch my video, contacted me and asking me on different stuff, and then decide to upgrade whatever he have taught or whatever he teach others, what would become of the grandmaster and the sifu he taught? Well, I like to respond to all of this about whether my channel is for obsolete, what has been taught in the past 60 years, or put the grandmaster in really bad positions with the following. Okay, so Wing Chun is a Chinese Kung Fu, right? And we keep talking about we continue talking about the Chinese philosophy and so forth, right? And I say that the Chinese actually do not have those philosophy like the Westerner thing, right? Now let's go to the oldest classic of the Chinese. Well, the oldest classic of Chinese is what? Yi Jing, right? The book of change, right? If we go study the Yi Jing, among the beginning we will see this teaching. 天行健，君子以自强不息. Okay, that's in Mandarin. 天行健，君子以自强不息. So what does that mean in English? Well, in English it means like this. As nature's movement is ever vigorous, so must a gentleman ceaselessly strive along. Again, as nature's movement is ever vigorous, so must a gentleman ceaselessly strive along. So this in I Ching is said that it is like the universe is keeping moving. A gentleman will keep improve, learning and improve, learning and improve. So it is like today's in technology we say that there is the continued improvements. Okay, like the Silicon Valley, the motto is continuous improvement. So this is what the teaching of the Yi Jing. Okay, and we need to be careful on the reality of Chinese Kung Fu, or be it in technology or our daily living, our life. And that is accept and solve problem. Accept and solve problem. The mistake we made unintentionally or intentionally will become experience, and one will move up to a higher level with fresh start. Okay, so that is what the Yi Jing say that, because the natural movement, is continue to improve, continue to grow. So a gentleman will keep learning, studying, make corrections, and move on. Okay. So as in Silicon Valley, it is continuous of improvement. And so in order to do that, one has to accept and solve the problem. And thus, whatever the mistake one have done, intention or non-intentionally, become an experience. And by this way, one move up to a higher level with a fresh start and keeping moving on, keeping improve. Okay, that's the way of Yi Jing. That's the way of Silicon Valley. That's the way of all the successful people around the world, disregard of race or nationality. Okay, and on the opposite, if we violating this the Yi Jing teaching or the continuous improvement teaching, it will become resist against and cover up the problem. As soon as we resist against and cover up the problem, well, mistake become a prison. We get into the prison, and we will trap in the past forever and fade away, vanish. That is the reality. So if we resist and we against and we cover up problems, not facing it, not solving it, the mistake we make, intention or unintentionally, will become a prison, and we will trap in the past with all this mistake forever. So if you look at 450 years ago, General Qi Ji Guang, after investigate, he faced the issue. At that time, the Chinese weapon cannot handle the Japanese samurai sword. That's why he had to improve it. Read the history. The way how the Chinese Kung Fu fight with the Japanese pirate is not effective and efficient, and it doesn't work. So that's why you see General Qi Ji Guang study the Japanese samurai sword and reform the Chinese martial art. And at that time, the Chinese martial art is a single momentum zone type of fighting. The guy who know how to kick, just do kick. The guy know how to punch, just punch. So the General Qi Ji Guang combine all those stuff, make it like today's MMA 450 years ago. So it is this principle. Okay, so let's not make into thinking on the I make this video or this channel is to obsolete the teaching of Wing Chun in the past 60 years, or to obsolete any lineages, or to put down any grandmaster, or then the grandmaster, if they have a 50 sifus who he trained, will look really bad because he adapt to what I present here. Let's not get into that. Why? Because we are not supposed to. Because the key is the continuous improvement. Who is perfect anyway? Who is perfect? And what I present here is not presents my idea, as what I keeping saying on and on. It is all the ancient stuff I'm presenting here. So it belongs to everybody. It's every Wing Chunner's inheritance. It's not mine. I just so that I'm lucky enough that I see the information, I got the information in the past, so that I share with everybody. Why do I share everybody? To obsolete people? To put down grandmaster? No. Because we want to know where we come from. And we want to know what happened today. And by that, we can grow. Otherwise, we will be trapped in our own time capsule. And that is going to cause the entire Wing Chun going to fade away. Because as the technology, like our cassette tape, the cassette tape, the audio tape, you seldom see them anymore. It becomes antiques. So Wing Chun is not an antiques. Wing Chun is a live arts. That's why it obeys the Chinese Yi Jing. So when we talk about Chinese Kung Fu, Wing Chun, and the Chinese Yi Jing classic, we want to really live on it, okay? Make it alive instead of philosophy is philosophy. We can go sit down there and argue, this people said this, that people said that. No, everything has to be one piece. And so we don't get into the philosophy or the mentality or attitude, or put us in a time capsule. It's like, for example, if I keeping thinking, hey, I am the guy who get transmissions of the Wing Chun 1850 quid, and then my Sifu is this, my grandmaster is my Sijo is this, and Yikam is the oldest which we can find that have this quid, and so forth, so forth. Then you know what? I'm trapping in the time capsule. I actually imprison myself. I have no idea what it is. I don't know what other people do good. Well, of course, in the 60 years, we have done something right in Wing Chun, right? if it's not done something right, will not survive until today. Just admit it. So how can we obsolete the right thing what we have done in Wing Chun for past 60 years? And as a grandmaster, as in this Silicon Valley, there's no guru which is perfect, never make mistake. And you see all the gurus, design gurus here keeping changing, keeping correct their mistake and move on. That's what Silicon Valley is. That's why it can bloom here. Don't we want Wing Chun be like that? Don't we want everybody prosper and doing good? So that's the mentality. This is very important, okay? So let's not get into those mentality and then like the Kung Fu movie mentality, and then you revenge me, I revenge you, and then this bad mouth and go talk here, or you don't know what you're talking about, and forget about that. Those are wasting energy. Those are movies. We deal with real life, okay? We want every Wing Chuner to be good and prosper. And there are millions of Wing Chuners, so there are many talented young people in this generations. They should fly with the platform. They should not be led by the older generation to trap in a time capsule or imprison them. Okay? Talented people, if you imprison them that way, they're going to go quit at some day when they found out, and they're going to go do what? Like today, they're going to practice Western boxing, they're going to switch to MMA. They just go walk away. That's the reality. Okay? So let's cut into the technical thing on this three mass element. Now, we like it or not, the three mass element when we practice the Xiu Lim Tao sets, if it is not fully content, meaning you have a full three elements in the Xiu Lim Tao practice, then you know it is not martial arts. No, waving hand without knowing the breathing, without synchronizations with the mind, those are just dance. There is no such thing as internal chi magic or anything without the three mass element. So whether it is martial arts, it is Wing Chun, Xiu Lim Tao or not, you can check. With these three elements, it is. Without it, it might be some recreation arts, but it is not for martial art purpose. Okay, this is the common denominator of traditional Chinese martial arts. Okay, so let's go to details. Now, let's go to the name Xiu Lim Tao. This is Xiao Lian Tou. Okay, the name. So Xiao Lian Tou, what does it mean? Is it a little idea, different stuff, you know, the different interpretation past 60 years or 100 years? Actually, the Xiao Lian Tou, it makes sense only if you read it with Fujian language. Fujian language, yes. So the 1850s Xiu Lim Tao kit, if you read it with Fujian language, it makes sense. If you read it with Cantonese, there many things doesn't make sense. So, Xiao Lian Tou, okay, or so Xiao Lian Tou. Between Xiao Lian and Tou, that is opposed that Xiao Lian Tou is not Xiao Lian Tou, is Xiao Lian Tou. So why is that way? Okay, we need to know in Fujian language, Tou or head, literally is a translate to head. Tou actually means essence or leader. So like for example, we talk about like the leader of the leader of the say the robbers, okay, the guy who robbed, the team who robbed people, okay, the robbers. So in the Fujian we say 贼头. 贼 is the robbers. 头 is the leader. 贼头. Okay, so this is actually the essence, the leader, the 头. 小练 say 练 小练, okay. 小练 meaning it is meaning the details training. Details training meaning that in this set, in this thing, it has to be really pay attention to the details. So 小练头 it means in today's language is the essence of details training. So the 1850 the 小练头 sets means the essence of details training. Okay. Now if you read it in the Cantonese, it will turn into the 小念頭, 大念頭, the 小念頭. You can turn into different thing because the Fujian language and the Canton language, they are not the same. Okay, so this is the Fujian stuff. So that's why for past 160 years, so we have different translations of the 小念頭, people thinking this way, that way. And if you look at that in Fujian language, it means the essence of detailed training. Well, so that this is one piece of information from the Fujian side, because there's a 天地会, and then there's uprising people and so forth, okay? On the other piece of the information, the data which is justified is 小. The details, the small, the micro training is actually exists in the 峨眉12庄, the 12 practice of 峨眉, which is the mother art of the 1850 小念頭 set. Okay, so with the two data, one is from Fujian, one is from 峨眉, we know what it is. Okay, and so we know it is, and then we check into the content. That's the third data point, so we can get them to verify itself, the Fujian, the 峨眉, and the content of the 小念頭 set of the Quinquit. It be able to verify itself. So it is not Hendrik's opinion or this opinion or that opinion. It's like a combination lock. You put that combination in, the lock open. Okay, so that's how it is. We need to be scientific, right? So that is how it is. Now, we know that this thing is the essence of details training. So as in the last video, I mentioned that a few things which is we need to watch out on our thinking. If we don't know something, don't jump gun. And don't just saying, this guy is really bad, okay? And or all kinds of stuff, okay? Or just say, well, I learned this thing from this grandmaster, but not be able to describe the details. So since it is the training of the details, the essence of the trainings of the details, we need to have a really clear and a really precise and accurate mind. It's like the technology engineer's mind. Look at things really detailsly. Otherwise, we will not get the essence of the sets, of the 1850s sets training. Okay. Now, the training of the 小念頭 sets, it has its uniqueness. Okay. For example, the body conditioning of those who practice tango, dancing in tango, is not going to be the same with the body conditioning of the people who practice the Chinese dance. They will be different. Okay, so in tango, you condition your body this way. So when you dance tango, you get the uniqueness, the characteristics. It shows right away. And if you train in Chinese dance, then it is different. So if you use a tango body to dance in the Chinese dance, or Chinese dance body to train in the tango, then it is chaotic. Okay, so Xiu Lim Tao has its characteristics, like, for example, how it conditions the body of the tango dancer. It's specific. It's not how it trains the body of the Chinese dancer. Okay, so we need to clear up that. So with this, it is not up to anybody to define, to create the 1850 Xiu Lim Tao sets. It can, because as I already said, that you got the Fujianese language, you got the Mei, the naming, you got the details there. So it is not up to me or anybody to create or think or interpret what the Xiu Lim Tao 1850 is about. Thing has to verify by itself, not that we do whatever we want, like you put Tai Chi inside there, you put Choi Lei Fat inside there, you put Wu Ji or Wu Mui Queen inside there, and then you say, well, according to my grandmaster, Wu Mui martial art is the ancestor of the Wing Chun, and then I'm just going to do it in Wu Mui way. Or if this Fa Jing, okay, take from the Tai Chi, it is not that way. So a tango dancer has to develop the tango body, and Xiu Lim Tao is those type of stuff. 1850 Xiu Lim Tao. Notice that up to here I keeping saying the 1850 Xiu Lim Tao. I don't refer to other people, other lineage or anything. Okay, I'm talking about the technical of this 1850 Xiu Lim Tao. Okay, now we know that this is the three must elements when practice the Xiu Lim Tao, or really any traditional Chinese martial art which is holistic. When we practice the sets of any traditional Chinese martial art which is holistic, like Xiu Lim Tao, you always have to have the body, the mind element, and the breathing element. You always have that three elements. They have to work together simultaneously, in sync. Otherwise, it is a dance. It is not a martial art, because it doesn't develop, like for example, analogy in the tango dancer. If this is not one, three is one, then you will not be able to get a tango dancer's body. That's how it is. So, because we say that Xiu Lim Tao have its characteristic, it is tango, it's not Chinese dance, so it have this uniqueness. Even though every traditional Chinese martial arts must have the body, mind, breathing, take care of at every moment in practice the sets, the Xiu Lim Tao had this uniqueness. So, in the Chinese, the train of the body is said 外练筋皮骨. Externally, we develop the muscle, the bones, okay? And in the breathing, it is 内练一口气. Internally, within, we develop the breathing, the breath. So that is two things. And then the third thing, it is mind. How do you use the mind? How do you develop the mind? So, for the Wing Chun Xiu Lim Tao 1850 characteristics, the body, because it's like you want to develop a tango body, not a Chinese dance body. The body, actually, you need the 7 bowls. As in the beginning Wing Chun, the 7 bowls. You need the 7 bowls, joint by joints, okay? And then there are 2 components there. One is from the Mei, one is from the Shaolin short strike. In the Mei, it is the 蛇形涌动. It is the snake slide and womb move. The snake slide and womb move. Like in our Xiu Lim Tao, it's like snake slides and womb move. Okay? That is a snake slide and womb move. The second is from the Shaolin Jie Zhuan Lun Fang. The torquing of the body, the spinning, every joint is spin and torque. Okay? So because it is a short strike art, it has to have that characteristics. Okay, the torquing. So it's a Wing Chun, beginning Wing Chun. So the short strike, you can see the screen there. If it's screen, the powers, the short power. So you have the torque. So the body is developed that way. Okay? That is the uniqueness. If one develop it that way, one will get the body, from the Xiu Lim Tao, the body, one will get those type of body to generate the short power and support the momentum, impose momentum. Okay. For the mind, so here you know how it is developed already. Okay, that's why I show you here in here. That is that thing. And then as for mind developed of the Xiu Lim Tao. We all in Wing Chun for past 60 decades or so, we all heard about this term. Somebody says that this is called 手从心发, hand issue from heart, or hand the fist issue from the heart. Okay, that is a part of the mind development. But because of this is fragmented, you don't see the entire thing, so you don't know how it is it developed the mind. So if you have the Wing Chun inception, in the quid here, the practice instruction here, that is the full development of the mind. So it said that eyes must track hand, eyes must track hand, hand or this movement has to track the heart or mind. Another word is that the mind, the mind and the movement, the hand has to be one. Hand issue from heart. Okay, hand issue from heart. So you see, over here we always say only hand issue from heart, but because we missed the first two instructions, eyes must track the hand, hand must track the heart, hand issue from heart. We have only one instead of that 3 complete. We don't know what it is, so this is up for interpretations. Or my hand or my fist has to issue from this heart area, this center line area, where the 1850 is writing is not that. It is actually about mind. So what it is? It is the mind. The mind direct the physical. The eyes tracking the physical. That's what it is. Okay, so the mind directing the physical, the eyes tracking the physical. This is a feedback loop. My mind direct this movement, my eyes tracking this movement. It is a feedback loop where the control is from the mind to the fist, while the feedback, the monitoring is eyes on the movement, the motion, the hand, the arm. So you see, it is mind, physical, and the eyesight. It is a loop. That is the loop to settle one's mind in dynamic. This is actually another way of the Buddhism's reciting Buddha's method of settling the mind. The Buddhism's reciting Buddha method is like this. Your mind recite the Buddha's name. The mouth follow the mind. And the ear listen to your mouth. So in the Buddha's teaching of the reciting the Buddha's name to settle mind is the heart or the mind recite the Buddha's name, and then it direct the mouth recite the Buddha's name, and then the ear monitor tracking the recitations of the mouth. Okay, in Wing Chun Xiu Lim Tao 1850 is the mind direct the motion, the momentum or the movement, the eyes tracking it. So you can see that one in the recitations to settle mind is one is using the mind directing the mouth and using the ear as the feedback. In the Xiu Lim Tao is the mind directing the arm, the hand or the movement, the body, the physical, with the eyes tracking that. You see the parallel? That is how to settle the mind at dynamic. So in other words, if I want to strike this punch out, my mind direct my arm to strike it out. My eyes is actually tracking it. So another next movement, next movement I have to do, like I need to do another slap, I do the same. So it's keeping tracking. Okay, so it keeping driving with the mind, drive the movement with the mind and track with your eyes. Drive the movement with your eyes and track with your mind. That way you don't run into different thoughts in the mind or absent-minded and all kind of stuff. You have this loop there to aware of what you're doing. And thereby you settle your mind into you quiet down your mind. The mind when it's not quiet is because there's chatting there, and then your intention, your lost intention and so forth. And if you say, I have to force this with my mind, total concentration, you get into the tunnel vision. While in this, it said no, it said what? I want to do a strike. My mind give a order, my body execute, my eyes track it. I just do that. Mind, order, body, execute, eyes track it. Mind, order, body, execute, eyes track it. It's like the reciting Buddha. The mind, order, the mouth, execute, the ear, track it. Okay? So it's like that. It's just in the awareness. It's not into the thinking philosophy or you have to concentrate on this thing. You have to pay attention on this thing. No. It is playing in a dynamic, really lively. And it is not getting to the chatting or I have to have this, use this mind power, that mind power. No, it's just It's awareness. Okay? So that is how the Xu Lian Tao 1850s developed the mind. So when one practices Xu Lian Tao, at every move, the mind give the order or driving it, the physical execute it, the eyes tracking it. Not thinking, spinning, is it right? Should I do it in this angle or that angle? Or I have to be very focused on my fingertip. It's not that. Okay? So it's dynamic. Anything come, it just go, it run into this loop, lock into it, lock into this what do you call it, this awareness loop. And so it be able to aware of everything. Because it's not thinking, chatting within the mind, the thinking, the thoughts, and they're lost in the thought stream, and also not forcing to pay attention to a certain thing. Okay? So that is the development, how to develop the mind. So the issue today is we lost 2 lines before this hand issue or fist issue from the heart. That's why we don't know what it is. So up to now, you see, all this thing is based on the evidence like combination lock, the elements. It's not my opinion. I just show you what it is, and then if you do that, you try it and see whether you get result. Because we talk about just now, it's like combination lock. If the combination is proper, you got result right away. It's not 10 years like you're sitting down there, I keeping training this and someday I will get it. No. Within half an hour, you need to get it if you do it properly. That's called enter the door. That's why they say in the ancient, Sifu lead you to enter the door. Sifu actually lead you so that you experience the state. Once you experience the state, you know how to practice. If you do not know how to experience a state, there's no way you can you can practice or develop it, because you keeping thinking in your mind, is it proper? Why don't I do it this way? Why don't I do it this way? Why don't I do it this way? Okay, that means that one is circling, one never get into the state and know what it is and grow that state. Okay, now the third is breathing. Breathing is the qi chen dan tian, xing qi du dan tian. So in the Wing Chun Inception, this is the Quid 5. Quid 5. The Quid Y5 here. It said, union in the Dantian, do meridian descends. This is Xing Qi Du Dantian. So how to do it? Well, in the Wing Chun Inception, I already revealed how to do it. It is a state 2C here. And with all the instructions step by step is there. Okay? So that is the Qi Chen Dan Tian. Or in other words, that is the deep, natural lower abs breathing. It is not trying to force something. It is deep, natural lower abs breathing. Okay? It is a state. So if you look at this, all these states, the mind, the body, the breathing, they are 3 in 1. It is a state. Okay? And of course, you might ask me, well, are you sure, Hendrik, on the Xing Qi Du Dan Tian, on this 2C state, in this Wing Chun Matrix books, or the over here in the H model, there's a Xing Qi there in the Wing Chun Inception? Well, with today's technology, okay, this is SPO2. This is SpO2, this is heart rate, this is your respiration rate. You can check that. Okay? Are you really get into the 心气 to 丹田 where your respiration rate drop? Your breathing, low abs breathing, natural low abs breathing. So it is, you know, it is this scientific now today. Okay? That is, again, why I say that don't take it as Hendrik's opinion. Ancient stuff, we verify it scientifically. Yes or no, right away you see. And if one really get to the 2C state, let me tell you what. The reality is, if you look at the movie, you know, like people fight, and then they get really tired, and then they go standing there, make a move, oh, 心气 to recover. Well, if one really get into the 2C state, one don't have to do all this thing. Because at that time, one is very exhausted already. One just have to get into the 2C state. Stay there for, say, a minute. And you can see your breathing and your respiration rate is settled down and your heart rate settled down. Well, again, you can check it with this or this. And by the way, this is FDA approved, okay? So the 2C state, when you get really tired, you know, your respiration rate increases and then your heart rate increases. You just get into the 2C state, you stand there for a while, about a minute, you can see things drop down. Because it's a deep lower abs breathing. Okay, so in the practice of the 修炼陶 1850, this all has to be intact at every moment. Otherwise, we don't get into that state of development. We don't know what we are developing. Okay? And with the mind and be able to synchronize the body and the breathing, that means you can generate strength now. Okay, so it's body, mind, breathing. That is called 气以力合. Like in internal art, they say the qi and strength, they synchronize or coherence. That's what the state is. When these three get together, then 气以力合. So everything you perform, you can feel that actually that support by like power behind it. So every momentum, impulse momentum you execute, you feel that thing, you know that thing, you can measure it. Okay, with this is the impulse, this is this. So it is something mysterious? No. If you look at, say, Mike Tyson practice heavy back, it is this. Just take a video of, say, Mike Tyson or somebody good in the Western boxing practice heavy back practice. You look at their body, okay, look at how the mind, okay, how the distance they gave, the body shot, the body smuggling. Is this, okay? And that is what the 气以力合, the strength and the breathing synchronize. Okay, so we need to know that the Western boxing and the MMA and Jiu-Jitsu, it doesn't have the technology as advanced in the traditional Chinese martial arts. Okay, it doesn't. So that's why today you have this heart rate variability, coherence training, and so forth, and based on the Indian yoga and so forth. But the 修炼陶 1850 have that technology. That's why I show it here, chapter 5 to chapter 8. Okay. So or chapter 9, okay, so that Xing Qi technology, it has that technology, okay, and the synchronization and so forth, chapter 5 to 8, yeah. So that's how it is. And of course, if you want to talk about Qi, and then the strength handling, the Fa Jing, and then the what do you call it, the impulse momentum, as I show you here in the basic Wing Chun Art and Science. The 6 core element, the 13th state. It is one lead by another one. It has a sequence, order of sequence of development. Unless you got this, forget about those Qi, Fa Jing. There's a reason why, like for example, in the case of Xi Xiaodong and the Tai Chi player Wei Lei in that competitions. Xi Xiaodong have the MMA type of uniqueness of the body and mind and breathing develop that state. So that's why he handled the impulse momentum that way. Wei Lei, the Tai Chi player, do not have a full handling of this. He might have a philosophy or thinking on Qi, on all this, you know, like when he present in the Chinese television show. But in the real life, if you don't have this, you will not be able to do it. This is martial art. This is not show business in the television show. This is not a demonstration. This is real. So unless we get this, forget about facing Western boxing or MMA and so forth. That's why in the beginning I said, without the 3 elements, the mass element, one can practice a one set. But that is just waving hand, and it's just a dance-like stuff. It is not martial arts, because it's not par, or it's not stand in the same ground as MMA, BJJ, Thai boxing, Kyokushin, Western boxing. It's not. So if you say, well, I trained this 1850 Xiulin Tao, or philosophy, Qi, according to my lineage, my grandmaster, as soon as it doesn't have this fully developed, you will not be able to face Western boxer, not be able to face MMA player, not be able to face BJJ player, not be able to face wrestler, not be able to face Kyokushin. You know it. It is a science. So that's why I said this is a Wing Chun science. 1850 Wing Chun science. Okay? And of course, this body, the body handling, it is not like as we usually thought about the structure or different way or be able to take force down to the ground, those things. It's not, because we like it or not, this is fighting. It has to change to different direction, different angle, different range. Okay? And this has to prepare for it. It's just like tango. The way how the dance tango and the way how they have the traditional Chinese dance, they are dance. However, they are unique. The tango dancer will play different range, okay, different range or distance between the two partner, and then different angle. The Chinese also will play different range and different angles, but they play differently. However, their body has to develop that, and then their breathing has to support that, and their mind, they need to know where to look at, where to aware. The guy who dances in tango, the awareness of the mind handling is different than the Chinese dancer. Even though they play also in the different distance, different angle, they play that, they consist of that, but they are different. So this is to share with you today, okay, as I show you all these details for the purpose of like combination lock to provide, to support elements so that we can have the elements to open the combination lock. And that is the notion, that is the educations, and that is the technology we're talking about. Okay, hope that this can give everybody a clear picture. And at the end, again, I want to say, let's not get into those putting lineage down, obsoleting down, or those kinds of mentality. This is about technology and educations. This is to make everybody great. This is not about to put anybody down. This is wanting everybody to grow. That is the notion of it. Otherwise, it defies the purpose of why I share this for free. If I want to do on the other way, then I can run a business or something. But this channel is for education, for everybody. We know this thing exists, and we know scientifically what it is now today.